I never believed in evil until the moment it opened my wife's eyes, smiled with her lips, and whispered my name right before it killed her. 1 second we were two souls lost in love on the vacation of our dreams. The next, something ancient, cruel, and starving clawed its way into her body and never left. It turned our paradise into hell. It tore her apart piece by piece, while I watched helpless. Then it ended her life in my arms. But what I did after that night, that is the part no one talks about. Because I hunted those spirits across the veil of death itself, I dragged them screaming back into the same forest where they ruined us. I burned them alive with fire, older than their evil. This is not a ghost story. This is my war. And it ends with their screams still ringing in my ears. My name is Alex. Priya was my forever. We met 6 years ago in a small Mumbai cafe when the monsoon rain was hammering the windows. She was painting tiny raindrops on the foggy glass with her fingertip, her chai forgotten and cold. I reached for sugar, spilled my entire coffee across her sketchbook. Most girls would have been furious. Priya just looked up, burst into that bright, unstoppable laughter, and said, "Now you owe me a new notebook, and a much better opening line, mister." That laugh hooked my soul. 2 years later, I proposed on the exact same spot. She said yes before I finished the sentence, tears mixing with rain. Life with her was magic. She taught little kids how to paint their dreams. I designed tall buildings that touched clouds. We cooked crazy midnight experiments, danced badly in the kitchen, made love like the world might end tomorrow. When she begged me for a quiet couple's trip to the misty Himachal hills, no phones, no work, just us and nature, I booked tickets the same night. "Let's fall in love all over again," she whispered, kissing my neck slowly. How could any man say no to those eyes? We reached the small forest resort as golden October light painted the mountains. Pine air, distant temple bells, fireflies dancing like living stars. First night we walked the garden path hand in hand. She rested her head on my shoulder. "Alex, this is the happiest I have ever been. Promise we will come back every single year until we are old and gray." I kissed her forehead and swore forever. We made love under the wooden beams while soft rain tapped the roof like a lullaby. I fell asleep believing no man on earth deserved this much peace. The second morning, the old guide with broken teeth warned us at breakfast. "Stay strictly on the marked trail, Sab. Some stones in that forest remember very old, very bad things. They wake up if you touch them." We smiled, paid him, and started hiking anyway. The trail was paradise. Sunlight sliced through tall deodar trees like golden knives. Birds sang. Priya picked bright wildflowers and tucked one behind my ear. "My handsome forest king," she teased, pulling me into a deep kiss against a tree. 2 hours deep, we found the hidden clearing, an ancient stone idol covered in thick moss, shaped like a woman with 3 faces, worn by centuries of wind and rain. Priya touched it gently, almost lovingly. "She looks so lonely, Alex, like she has been waiting hundreds of years for someone kind." She closed her eyes and whispered a small, heartfelt prayer. I laughed softly. "Babe, you turning spiritual on me now?" She giggled that beautiful giggle. That giggle was the last normal sound she ever made. The wind changed in a heartbeat. It became violent, freezing, pushing against our chests like invisible, angry hands. Every bird in the forest went dead silent at once. The guide's face turned ghost white. "We run. Now." We turned back fast. Priya suddenly tripped on absolutely nothing. She fell hard, scraping her knees bloody. When I pulled her up, her pupils were wrong. Too wide, not focusing on me. She blinked hard, shook her head. "I'm fine, just clumsy today." But her hand in mine felt ice cold. We hurried down the mountain. That night back at the resort, she slept too deeply, almost unnaturally still. I watched her peaceful face in the moonlight, and thanked God again for her. Morning shattered our world forever. Glass exploded across the room. I woke to Priya standing in the center, barefoot on broken mirror shards. Blood on her feet, but she didn't flinch. Her eyes were open but empty. Priya? Baby, what's wrong? She turned her head unnaturally slow. Her voice dropped into something raspy, ancient, male. Get out of our home, husband. This body is ours now. I tried to laugh it off. Stop joking, it's not funny. Her mouth stretched into a smile far too wide for a human face. You think this is a joke? She grabbed the heavy wooden chair with one hand and hurled it straight at my skull. I ducked. It smashed into the wall, wood splintering. Then she screamed words in a language that hurt my ears. Guttural. Evil. Her eyes flashed blood red for one terrifying second. Then she collapsed like a puppet with cut strings. I rushed her to the nearest mountain hospital. Every test came back normal. Blood, brain scan, everything. Stress and altitude, the doctors said. They gave strong sedatives. She woke up hours later as my Priya again, crying in my arms. I don't know what happened. It felt like someone else was pushing inside my skull. Screaming. I was trapped, Alex. I was screaming, but no one could hear me. I held her tight. We are leaving tomorrow morning. This place is cursed. The drive down the winding mountain road became the first real nightmare. Halfway down, she started laughing. High, manic, uncontrollable. Then sobbing. Then speaking in that deep man's voice again. She touched the stone. She invited us in. Stupid pure girl. Now we will feast on her light. I gripped the wheel until my knuckles cracked. Priya, fight them. She suddenly grabbed the steering wheel with superhuman strength and yanked it hard toward the cliff edge. Tires screamed. Horn blaring. I fought her with one arm, muscles burning, while the car fishtailed inches from death. We skidded to a stop on the very edge, front wheels hanging over nothing. Her real voice broke through for 1 second. They are so strong, I'm sorry, my love. Back in our Delhi apartment, I locked every door and prayed it was finished. It had only just started. The first week she seemed almost normal. Then the nights became pure terror. Every single night at exactly 3:07 am her body would rise slowly off the bed, floating 2 feet in the air, back arched impossibly, eyes rolled completely white. I would scream her name, shake her, pray. She would crash down hard and start throwing everything. Our wedding pictures, glass frames exploding, plates, knives flying at my head. This love is disgusting filth. She would shriek in 3 overlapping voices. We will rip it apart slowly while you watch. Neighbors banged on walls threatening police. I lost my job. I lost 25 kilos. I started filming every episode on my phone because the world thought I was crazy. I showed my mother the videos. She cried, "This is not your Priya anymore. Take her to the temple before it is too late." We tried everything humanly possible. Best neurologists in IAMS. Powerful antipsychotics. For 3 blessed days she was calm, holding my hand, watching our old videos, whispering I love you like the old days. Then, the medicine failed completely. One quiet evening she looked across the dinner table, with glowing red eyes, and spoke perfect fluent English in a voice dripping with hate. Your wife is already dead inside. We are 3 ancient sisters. We are older than your weak gods. And we are still very, very hungry. I took her to every holy place I could reach. Churches where priests prayed in Latin for hours. Massive Hindu temples with non-stop havan. A famous dargah where she thrashed so violently they needed 10 men to hold her. A Sikh gurdwara where the Granthi read holy verses non-stop until dawn. Nothing touched them. One terrifying night in Varanasi, a feared tantric tied her tightly to a chair with thick ropes, lit a huge fire, rang bells, chanted mantras for 7 hours straight. Priya laughed the entire time, head tilted at wrong angles, black drool running down her chin. Then she snapped every rope like wet paper, leaped on the priest and clawed his face open with nails that had grown sharp. He needed 60 stitches and never worked again. The spirits laughed through her bleeding mouth. Your gods are children. We were old when they were born. I was shattering. In the rare calm hours, she would cling to me like a terrified child, sobbing. They are eating me from the inside, Alex. I can feel their teeth chewing my soul every second. Please don't leave me alone with them. I'm still here. I'm still fighting. I would rock her for hours, tears falling on her hair. I am never leaving you. We will beat them together. I swear on my life and my soul. Money disappeared. I sold the car. Sold my father's gold watch. Borrowed from every friend and relative. I didn't care. I would have sold my own organs if it helped. All I wanted was her laugh back. Her touch. Her. 6 months after that cursed forest, the final night arrived without warning. That evening, she seemed almost completely herself again. We cooked her favorite paneer dish together. She fed me bites from her own hand, kissed sauce off my lips slowly. Thank you for never giving up on me, Alex. I don't know how much longer I can hold them back. We made love that night with desperate tenderness, like we both knew it might be the last time. She fell asleep in my arms. I stayed awake watching her breathe, praying this was the turning point. I woke to the sound of choking. Priya was crawling on the ceiling like a spider, limbs bent wrong, neck twisted at impossible angle, red eyes staring down at me. She dropped straight onto my chest, like a predator. Her hands clamped around my throat with inhuman strength. She is dead inside. Time to finish the shell and wear her skin forever. I fought wildly, punching, kicking, screaming her name. For one single second, her real beautiful eyes returned, full of love and unbearable pain. She whispered, "I love you so much. Run." Then the monsters took full control. She smashed her own head against the concrete wall once, twice, 3 times. Blood sprayed across our bedroom. I tried to stop her, but she threw me across the room like a rag doll. Her body convulsed violently. At exactly 4:17 am, she died in my arms while I begged God, the universe, anyone to take me instead. The funeral happened on a cold, rainy Tuesday. I stood alone in the mud as they lowered the love of my life into the ground. Something human inside me died with her, but something colder, sharper, and merciless woke up in its place. Rage. Pure, burning, patient rage. For 2 full weeks, I sat in our dark apartment surrounded by her unfinished paintings, her clothes that still carried her scent, her voice on old voicemails. I played them until the phone died. "Alex, come home early now. I made your favorite doll today." I cried until my body had no tears left. Then I stood up slowly. "You took her from me. Now I am coming for you." I went deep into the shadows. Occult forums at 3 a.m. Exorcists who had been thrown out of ashrams for knowing too much. Ancient books in dead languages. I uncovered the full horror. 300 years ago, 3 witch sisters were executed in that exact forest for sacrificing travelers and drinking their life force. They were burned alive beside that 3-faced stone idol. Their spirits stayed trapped there, waiting. Priya's pure, kind touch freed them. They chose her because her light was the brightest. They wanted to devour it completely and wear her body like a trophy. I found one final hope. An old dying sadhu deep in a remote Himalayan cave, cancer eating him alive. He listened to every detail for 3 nights without blinking. Then he spoke in a weak voice. "You cannot kill what is already dead, but you can drag them into a fire that burns souls themselves. It will demand your blood. It may demand your life. Are you ready to die for her?" I said yes without hesitation. He taught me the forbidden ritual over the next 3 painful nights. Blood binding. Memory as weapons. A way to force them into one vessel and destroy it forever. Exactly 1 year after her death, I returned to Himachal alone. Same resort. Same deadly trail. The stone idol waited, now covered in fresh blood-red flowers from some new victim. I didn't care. I prepared the ritual at midnight in the same clearing. Black candles, Priya's wedding ring in the center glowing in firelight. My own blood collected in a copper bowl. I cut my palm deep and began the harsh chanting that tore at my throat. The wind came howling like 1,000 damned souls. Trees bent nearly double. Then 3 horrifying figures materialized in the mist. Twisted, rotting versions of my Priya. Skin hanging in strips, red eyes blazing, mouths full of jagged teeth. "You came back for more pain, foolish husband?" They hissed in perfect unison. I stood my ground, voice steady as steel. "You murdered the only good thing I had. Tonight I send you to a hell even you cannot escape." They attacked with full fury. Invisible claws ripped open my back. Trees slammed into me. The ground itself tried to swallow me. I kept chanting, blood pouring from my hand. "You wanted a perfect vessel? Take me instead. But you will choke on every memory of our love." All 3 spirits rushed into my body at once. Agony exploded through every cell. They tore at my mind, showing me Priya dying in endless loops. Her screams, her blood, her final whisper. I almost broke. But the sadhu's last secret saved me. Love is the one blade they have no defense against. I forced every precious memory forward like burning swords. Our first kiss in pouring rain. Her terrible but adorable painting of me. Our wedding day when she cried happy tears. The way she moaned my name when we made love. Each memory grew brighter and hotter. Pure white light detonated inside me. The spirits shrieked in pure agony. I dragged their writhing essences back into the ancient stone idol. Then I poured the sacred oil the sadhu had prepared and struck the match. Flames erupted in impossible colors. Blue, green, blood red, reaching for the sky. The idol cracked wide open. 3 faces appeared screaming inside the fire, wearing Priya's features, but twisted in terror. For one final second, her real beautiful face broke through the flames. She looked at me with pure love and peace. "Thank you, Alex. I am free now." Then the 3 witches wailed as the soul-burning fire consumed them completely. Their screams lasted for hours, echoing through the mountains. I stood there bleeding, crying, laughing with victory. Feel every second of what you did to her. Burn like she burned inside for months. When the sun finally rose, the clearing was nothing but ash and black glass. The rest of the forest looked strangely healed, peaceful, birds singing again. The idol had vanished completely. I collapsed from blood loss. Woke up 3 days later in a hospital bed. Doctors said I should have died. They never found any burned clearing. It was as if the mountain itself erased every trace of the evil. But I know the truth in my bones. Those 3 spirits are gone forever. Priya is finally at peace. Every single night I sit at her grave and talk to her for hours. I feel her warm presence around me, her gentle touch on my shoulder. She is proud. I still wear her ring on a chain around my neck. I still cry. But the rage has become quiet strength. If darkness ever reaches into your life and tries to take what you love most, fight with everything you have left. Love is stronger than death. I learned that in blood and fire. If this story ripped your heart out and then gave you hope, smash that like button hard. Subscribe right now for more raw, true, terrifying stories of loss, betrayal by the unseen, and the sweet, satisfying revenge that real justice demands. Drop a comment below. Would you walk back into the same forest to burn the devil himself for the person you love most? I read every single comment. Your stories keep me alive. Her name was Priya. Her story did not finish in a cold grave. It finished in purifying, soul-destroying fire. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. The darkness always loses when good people refuse to stay broken. I will see you in the next story. Stay strong. Keep fighting. Never stop loving.